Good afternoon, class. Today our topic is ionization enthalpy, which is the periodic property. So in our previous class, we have already discussed about the atomic radii and ionic radii. And today we'll continue the same chapter, periodic classification with ionization enthalpy. So what is actually enthalpy? Enthalpy is the amount of heat. When we talk about heat, so there is a specific term enthalpy. Instead of energy, we used to use the word enthalpy. Okay, so in the chemical reaction, when we proceed some reactions, so some reactions are exothermic, some are endothermic. Exothermic reactions means when the reactions continues, they evolve a large amount of heat. So at that time, that heat is known as enthalpy. And endothermic reactions are those which require heat energy for continuation of the reaction, for performing any reaction. So this heat energy is known as the enthalpy. So when we talk about the periodic property, so ionization energy is also known as, scientifically is known as the ionization enthalpy. Okay. So a quantitative measure of the tendency of an element to lose the electron is given by its ionization enthalpy. It is the minimum energy which is required to remove an electron from a gaseous atom to its ground state to form a gaseous ion. Okay, the minimum energy, the energy which is required to remove the electron. Okay, because there is a certain amount of energy which is required. So we are talking about minimum energy. As we already learn about the solids, that threshold frequency, threshold energy is that energy which is required to remove the electron from the metal atom. Okay, and here we are talking about the minimum energy, the minimum amount of enthalpy which is required to remove an electron from the gaseous uh, atom in its ground state to form its a gaseous ion. Okay, and this is denoted by delta H. Okay, so change in enthalpy is delta H, because first at ground state that atom has its own energy, but when some one electron is removed from there, or we add one electron somewhere, so there is a change in heat energy. Okay, so that change in energy is denoted by delta H. So we can say that in previous class I've told you that first ionization enthalpy and second ionization enthalpy is there. There are two types of ionization energy. First ionization energy is when we remove one electron. The energy required, the enthalpy required to remove one electron from an atom. For example, you can see this thing in reaction. X is an atom, gaseous atom, and now we are removing one electron from it. So there is one plus charge is there. Okay, so the minimum energy which is required to remove one electron is first ionization energy, and the energy which is required to the second electron from that gaseous atom, here plus two charges there and one electron is removed. So that is known as second ionization energy. Okay, so the second ionization energy required to remove the second most loosely bonded electron, means the outermost electron, loosely bonded electron is outermost electron. So the energy which is required to remove that electron is second ionization energy. So energy is always required to remove the electron. Hence, these are known as enthalpy, and this enthalpy, ionization enthalpy, will always be positive. When we require energy to remove the electron, means it's endothermic, that at that time ionization enthalpy will be positive, but the second ionization enthalpy will be higher from the second ionization energy, because we can remove first electron with a small amount of energy, but the second electron, for the second electron we require higher amount of energy to remove from its shell as compared to the first one. Okay, because it is more difficult to remove an electron from positively charged ion than from a neutral atom. Here we are removing the electron from the neutral atom, so we require less amount of energy. But when we talk about an ion which already have positive charge, so we require large amount of energy to remove one more electron from it. Okay, so the term ionization enthalpy is not actually the qualified, is taken as first ionization enthalpy, and that always be positive. So ionization enthalpy for first is positive. So if we plot a graph between the ionization energy, ionization enthalpy of the different groups. For example, we have this boron group and lithium, beryllium, this. Okay, so what is happening actually? This thing we already know. The first ionization enthalpy having atomic number up to 60. We are plotting graph atomic number up to 60. So what we observe? We observe that the maxima at the noble gas will have closed electron shell and very stable electronic configuration. This thing we all know very well, that so there is a the noble gases have fulfill electronic configuration, but the minimum point will be what lithium, where which have low first ionization energy as compared to the what noble gases. This thing will will make this thing like more easy, as lithium is the element, the atom which has only one electron in its outermost shell. Okay, and we are talking about here the inert gases. So if we plot the graph, then we'll came to see that these noble gases are at the high point on the graph, because there is a maximum amount of energy which is required to remove the electron from these neon, but we require less amount of energy to remove electron from lithium as compared to these. So there, when we plot this graph, we came to see that the ionization of energy of neon gases is higher as compared to the other elements. Okay, the noble gases has high ionization energy, enthalpy. Okay, energy and enthalpy is same, but energy can be of any type. Enthalpy, we are talking about heat here. Okay, so these are sorry. Um, Okay, so the first ionization enthalpy generally increase as we go across the period and decrease as we go down the group. Note it down. The first ionization enthalpy increases along the period when we go from left to right, but decreases when we decreases in the descending in group. When we go down to the group, the ionization enthalpy decreases. Okay, the ionization enthalpy and the atomic radii are closely related properties. Closely related properties means if the atomic number is high, then what will happen? The atomic number is high means number of participating shell are high, means there is a gap between the outermost shell, outermost electron and the nucleus. So they both are related to each other. How? This thing I am going to explain. So there is a trend, two important factors which were in consideration at that time, that the attraction of electron towards the nucleus first, second, the repulsion of the electron from each other. As we all know that in the center we have nucleus and electrons revolves around the nucleus in a path that is known as orbit. So there must be a repulsion between the electrons, right? So there are two factors which are responsible for this relation. First, attraction of electron towards the nucleus, and second is repulsion of electrons from each other. So the effective nuclear charge experienced by the valency electron will be less than the actual charge of the nucleus because of shielding effect or screening effect of valency electrons from the nucleus by intervening core electrons. This thing you can learn with an example. For example, if number of shells, if I have, for example, if I have a nucleus for X atom, and if I have 5 shells there, means electron filling is there in 3s. Okay, so there are so many electrons. How many electrons? 6 in p shell, 2 in 2s and 2 in 1s, means we have 10 electrons between the outermost shell and the nucleus. So as on the atomic number increase, so there will be a screening effect or shielding effect is there, which reduces the force of attraction between the outermost electron and the nucleus. जैसे जैसे उनके बीच में मतलब आउटर मोस्ट शेल के और न्यूक्लियस के बीच में नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बढ़ते चले जाएंगे एटॉमिक नंबर बढ़ने की वजह से, तो क्या होगा? वो जो रिपल्शन है इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का आपस में वो भी बढ़ता चला जाएगा, which led to the less force of attraction acting between the nucleus and the electron, right? So across the period we have concluded that this thing, if we compare this thing on the basis of increasing nucleus charge into the inner core, so what will happen across a period, increasing nuclear charge overweight the shielding effect. As the nuclear charge will increase, this will overweight the shielding, the force which act between the outermost electron and the nucleus. So consequently, the outermost electron are held more and more tightly, and the ionization enthalpy increase across the period. What will happen when we go across the period from left to right? There is a shell which participate in the electron filling are higher shells. For example, if we talk about d block elements, so d block required 10 electrons to fill the octet. So whenever we used to fill the electrons, there will be sudden increase in the force of attraction between the outermost shell and the nucleus. जितने ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे उतना ही उनके बीच में force of attraction होगा. Since this thing also happened with the p block elements. P orbital require 6 electrons. So whenever electron added to the shells, what will happen? This led to increase in the force of attraction between the outermost orbital and the nucleus. Okay, so as we go down the group, the outermost electron being increasingly further from the nucleus, there is an increased shielding of the nuclear charge by the electron in the inner level. In case increase in the shielding overweight the increase in nucleus charge, and the removal of the outermost electron require less energy down the group. So that is why when we go down the group, the less energy is required to remove the electron. But when we go along the period, the energy which is required to remove the electron is large.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, please explain shielding. Increase in shielding means.
Increasing shielding means this thing I've already. Shielding effect is like what the effect, screening or shielding effect, the effect which exists between the outermost shell and the nucleus. As the number of electron increase, number of shell will also increase. So we know this thing that there is a force of attraction which act between the nucleus and the electron. Okay, which attract towards itself. But there is a repulsive force which exert between the electrons. तो जैसे जैसे शेल्स बढ़ते चले जाएंगे ऐसे ही नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बढ़ते चले जाएंगे. तो अब उसकी वजह से क्या होगा? रिपल्सिव फोर्स बढ़ जाएगा. ठीक है, इसकी वजह से एक बैरियर, एक इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस होगा बिटवीन द आउटर मोस्ट शेल एंड द न्यूक्लियस, जिसको हम स्क्रीनिंग इफेक्ट और शील्डिंग इफेक्ट. ओके, सो we have done this thing that along the period there is a increase in the ionization energy, ionization enthalpy, but when we go down, the decrease in ionization energy will be there. Okay, because when we go down the group, as the atomic size increase, the force between the outermost electron and the nucleus will be affected by this shielding effect. So it require a less amount of energy to remove that outermost electron. Okay, so as there is a comparison between boron and beryllium is here. Boron atomic number is 5, beryllium atomic number is 4. Electronic configuration is for beryllium is 1s2 2s2, but for boron is 1s2 2s2 2p1. Means in this outermost participating shell is s, and which is completely filled, but for boron outermost participating shell is p, in which we have one electron there. Okay, so what will happen? S electron is attached to the nucleus more. S electron is attached to the nucleus since it is closer to the nucleus, right? And p, since it has only one electron and there are two shells between p and the nucleus, that is 1s and 2s. So as if we compare both of these, that we require less amount of energy to remove this p electron, and we require more energy to remove these the electron from the 2s. Okay, so for boron, 2p electron for the boron has more shielding effect from the nucleus by the inner core of the electron, and 2s of the beryllium compared than the 2s, because between this 2s we have only 1s, single shell between the nucleus and this 2s. But if we talk about the p, we have two orbitals, 1s and 2s, which are present between this 2p and nucleus, right? So there is an energy difference on the basis of the shells which are participating in bonding, the outermost shell if we talk about. Okay, so the boron has a smaller first ionization enthalpy as compared to this beryllium, right? Okay, so let's just talk about now electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy and electron affinity are both the same terms, right? Electron gain enthalpy is what, when we talk about electron gain enthalpy, is that when an electron is added to neutral gaseous atom, this atom can be X, to convert it into a negative ion. So the amount of enthalpy change during this process is known as electron gain enthalpy, and it is denoted by delta EGH. EG is electron gain. Okay, if someone asks you the what is electron affinity, electron affinity is the property to attract the electrons towards an atom. Electron and affinity is the property of an atom to attract the electron towards itself. And electron gain enthalpy is that enthalpy when an electron added to a neutral gaseous atom, it will convert it into negative ion, because whenever an element accept the electron, what will happen? Negative charge will be there, because they are accepting the negative charge, since electrons are negatively charged. So the energy change during this reaction, this gaining of electron, is known as electron gain enthalpy. Okay, if you can see this reaction, so X plus electron, X is a neutral atom and we are adding one electron here, so one minus charge should be placed on this X atom. Now this is negatively charged ion. So the process of adding of electron to the atom can be either exothermic or endothermic. When an electron is added to the element, it can be exothermic or endothermic. Exo means when amount of heat release, when a heat release whenever the electron added to this atom. And endothermic means the element require energy to add an electron. Okay, endo means inside the reaction, exo means outside the reaction. If heat is going inside the reaction, is endothermic. If heat energy is evolving during the reaction, is exothermic. For many elements, the energy is released whenever the electron is added to this and added to the atom. At that time, this electron gain enthalpy is negative. If you see that some sort of energy is releasing whenever we adding the electron to the neutral atom, so there the energy released, this is denoted by a minus sign, means the electron gain enthalpy will be negative. For example, for group 17 elements, these are halogens. They have very high electron negative gain enthalpy. Why? Because they can attain stable noble gas electronic configuration by picking up only one electron. Noble gas family is the fluorine family. Outermost shell there are 7 electrons, which means that they require only one electron to fulfill their octet. So the electron negativity is very high, because they, after picking up one electron, they just attain the noble gas electronic configuration, right? So if we talk about the decreasing and the increasing property, so in group the electron affinity decreases on moving from top to the bottom. When we talk about the electron affinity, electron gain enthalpy, it decreases down the group. And when we talk about the period, it increases from when we go from left to right. Along the period it increases, down the period it decreases. Okay, so we have talked about the halogens. What will happen? They just pick one electron and attain the noble gas electronic configuration. But when we talk about the noble gases, they have large positive electron gain enthalpy. Halogens have large negative gain enthalpy. ठीक है, negative electron gain enthalpy. And in when we talk about the noble gases, they have large positive electron gain enthalpy because the electron has to enter the next high energy principal quantum number, leading to a very unstable electronic configuration. Means if you want to add one electron to helium, then principal quantum number will change. For example, if we talk about neon, if we talk about the main gas which of this neon gas, that is neon, the second gas which is present in second period. So what will happen if you want to add some electron to the neon? Then what will happen? The principal quantum number will change. Means here the n is different, and when uh, we try to add some electron to this neon gas, means the participating shell will change. Here we have completely p filled shell, and when we add some electron, then S subshell will take part in electron filling. So that will lead to unstable electronic configuration. That is why for noble gases, the large where they have large positive electron gain enthalpy. So it may be noted that electron gain enthalpy have large negative value towards upright. Large negative value किस side है? Towards upright, means towards halogen. Means it is increasing, the electron gain enthalpy increasing when we move along the period. So the variation of this electron gain enthalpy of the element is less systematic than of ionization enthalpy. So there is like some difference between this electron gain enthalpy and ionization enthalpy. What was that? The electron gain enthalpy become more negative with the increase in atomic size across the period. Whenever the atomic size increases, atomic size increases, so the electron gain enthalpy become more negative. The highest, the group which has highest electron gain enthalpy is negative electron gain enthalpy is the halogens. That is the last group. After that we have what? We have this family, this noble gas family. So if we go around, if we go this side, means towards the right side, you can see this minus 38. This is negative gain enthalpy. If you go down to the group, then what is happening? It's decreasing continuously. So down the group, uh, negative electron gain enthalpy decreases. But when we talk about the positive, so they have highest positive electron gain enthalpy. These are known as the noble gases. So uh, from these things we just came to know that electron gain enthalpy become lesser negative as we go down the group. Means down the group it decreases and along the period it increases, because there's a difference, because the size of the atom increases and the added electrons would be further from the nucleus. Whenever the atomic size increases, it means the number of participating shell will increase because of the increasing atomic number. So which led to what? Which led to a great difference in the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell. For example, they just compare this oxygen and fluorine. So if we compare oxygen and fluorine, they are placed together like the next to oxygen and fluorine is placed just next to this oxygen. So what is happened? The electron gain enthalpy of oxygen or fluorine is less negative than to the succeeding elements. This is because when an electron is added to oxygen and fluorine, so there is this quantum number is N2, and when we just increase the electron, what will happen? This N2 will shift to N3, means the period will change. Okay, so that is why there is a difference in electron gain enthalpy of the elements which are present. Okay, we have a question here: which of the following have the most negative electron gain enthalpy? If we talk about this phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and fluorine, so there is a description. From this you came to learn the summary. The electron gain enthalpy generally becomes more negative across the period when we move from left to right. When we are moving from left to right, the electron gain enthalpy increases. But within the group, the electron gain enthalpy become less negative down the group. If we go down the group, it becomes less negative, as you can see here. Chlorine is minus 349, bromase is 325, iodine is 295, and this minus 21. So as we go down the group, electron gain enthalpy, negative electron gain enthalpy decreases. Okay, so whatever is, however, adding an electron to the p orbital led to the greater in the repulsion. Whenever we increase the electron in the p orbital, what will happen? There is the repulsion increases between the electron. Okay, hence the element with most negative electron gain enthalpy is chlorine. Chlorine is the highest electron gain enthalpy among all these things. As you can see, S is minus 200. Okay, and phosphorus is non-metal, so its electron gain enthalpy will be around approximately like 198 approx. Chlorine is minus 349, and fluorine we have minus 328. So if we talk about, the highest is fluorine among these, and if we talk about the elements with most negative electron gain enthalpy is chlorine. One of the most is least electron gain enthalpy is phosphorus. If least का हम बात करते हैं तो इतना, और highest की बात करते हैं तो इतना. So your homework is to read about the ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. Tomorrow we'll continue the class with the electronegativity.